Good morning. Happy Sunday. June 28th, 2020. I'm going to sit here quietly and wait for my friends. I don't share anymore. I only want to be live with this little group. So I'm all yours. I just got a little sunshine breakthrough. It's been very rainy. It's okay. It's what makes us so green. We're a rainforest. We need it. I see one. Good morning, Julie Kiss. How are you today? I'm easing in today. I'm being very easy today. I have been allowing the world to stress me out lately. Hi, two more, whoever you are. Come on in. And per Wendy's request, hi, Carol Allen. I have the Batman behind me today. No zooming on this because it's just that between friends. We don't need to be so professional. Hi, Kim. Good morning. How are you guys today? On this beautiful Sunday, wherever you are, whatever time it is. Feeling the love today. I feel like I'm in a big life lesson. Very deep, not bad, but very deep energy today. So I'm kind of sharing that with you. Here I am at my 9:30, sharing my deep thoughts straight from the heart. I'm very reflective. Reflections are something that I actually wrote about it in the second book, and I think that I need to get those writings back out and see what they have to say, because there was love notes, there was things that I wrote about that felt like they came straight from Steve. And so I have been so obsessed with reflections for a long time. I almost, like, I'll sink into the reflection, like I don't know for sure which is real. How many of you feel like that? It's like there's this alternate reality all the time. It's like we're seeing things through these eyes and we think that we know exactly what we're looking at, except every one of us has different eyes and every one of us sees everything exactly differently than everybody else. There's no way that we can possibly see things exactly the same, because it's the way that the light settles in on things that creates what we see in our eyes and how our eyes are perceiving that light settling in. So there's no way that I can see it exactly like you do. Hi, Kim. I think about that too. You see reflections? I'm trying to see it without the glasses on, can you tell? And Batman, yes, Batman. Good morning, Scarlett. Nice to see you. See, Batman is very busy back there today. He's protecting the world. He's like, I got your back today. Let's turn it a little bit so he can be a little bit more. This sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. There you go, Batman. We can see you now. So yesterday we had quite a connection. I started out very disconnected and we had a really beautiful meditation time that was really, really insulating is a good word. So I hope that we come back through with something like that today. It feels as if the universe, our guides, our angels, whatever you would like to call, they're really helping us. And I had a number of opportunities for deep meditation yesterday, and it was always coming through with the message of we got your back. So Batman's back there. He's got my back. I hope you feel your angels at your back today. So this reflections thing, when you look at a body of water, I have to really stop myself. I'm so obsessed with reflections that I'll spend all my time staring at reflections if I get a chance. That's all I really want to look at, because I feel like we're being told to look at the world differently. How many of you feel that? Hi, Annie7. Nice to see you this morning. It's like our higher selves are always trying to remember, or always trying to remind us of the truth of who we are. And they're trying to remind us to see the world differently, see time differently. The ways of humanity are so deeply ingrained. We're so used to seeing the world through just these eyes and assuming that everyone else sees things exactly the same as our eyes do. It's so deeply ingrained that we have to work 9 to 5, that we have to keep up with the neighbors. We have to try to have a car that's as nice as them. We have to try to have a nice house. We have to try to keep our gardens up and our lawns mowed, and our kids have to wear just the right shoes and blue jeans, and they have to go to the right schools, and we want to, hold an appearance all the time. For our reflection to the world has to be a certain way in order to be accepted in society. And I feel as if part of this obsession with reflections is us remembering, always trying to remember. Our souls, our higher selves are always trying to help us to remember, to look at the world differently, to see things like look at the reflection instead of the actual object. Don't always notice what's obvious. Look under the surface. And we've been reminded of that a lot lately, because if you look at the surface, the world is pretty scary. There's a lot of difficult, scary things going on. Scary is just a good word. This virus is trying to make its way back into our world again. It's not that it ever left, but it's trying to make a bigger appearance again. We have violence and unrest. We have all kinds of issues. That's just the United States. All the way around the world, there are really scary things going on. If all you look at is the news and all you look at is what's on TV, you might as well just sit around in your home and wait for the end. Truly. I wonder how many people do. Hi, Charlie. So what they're giving to me this morning is can you look through different eyes? We've been going over this a lot. Can you see the world through the eyes of love? Can you change your lens? Can you, as if it's a reflective thing, as if your eyes are reflecting. Sorry, I have my mini blinds down. I'm like, is that somebody coming to me? I want to make sure. Hi, Sharon Boyle. Nice to see you this morning. So, howdy, partner. So how are you looking at the world? That's what they're telling me this morning, is are you looking through the same eyes, the same lens that you always have? Or are you seeing the world differently? And is it more the reflection that's real than what we think is reality? Are we seeing the truth, or are we seeing what we've been taught to believe? And that can go in so many different directions. This discussion could go, I wish you guys were all right here in the room with me. It could seriously go in a million different directions. But I feel like they're just trying to remind us today in our own personal lives that, man, I've been reminded today over and over again. Yesterday when I sat here doing the playground, I suddenly fell into missing someone that I walked away from in January that I felt was a really good idea. And suddenly, as I remembered, I was like, wow, like, I really miss that person. Life is difficult. Being on this earth is so difficult. And we have these lessons and these memories, and so often it repeats itself in our heads. It just keeps this non-stop, like, oh, do you remember that? Do you remember that? Do you want to go back to that? Do you want to step backwards? Do you want to go back to who you were before? Do you feel that sometimes? It's and I'm not sure how that, I'm trying to feel why they keep reminding me of that with the reflections. I guess it's the way that I'm looking at things. It's the way that I'm viewing my life right now. And I keep listening because Steve has been so present in my life today. It's like he just keeps trying to wrap it around my head that this is all only temporary, that all we're seeing is the reflection of the real thing. This is just this planet that we think is so real and we take so seriously is all just a reflection. And so instead of being in that place of, geez, I really want to go back to that, or I really miss him, or the place of grief, it's just enjoy the game for a while. I love how he brings it in. Bring it on, Steve. Just enjoy the game for a while. This is only a reflection of your reality. It's only a tiny, tiny piece of who you really are. Characters are going to come in, characters are going to go out, just like in a video game. They're going to be there sometimes, and then sometimes they're going to walk away again. And it's okay to let them. And it's okay for you to step away, and it's okay for you to take whatever twist and turn that you choose to take in this game. Because it's just really the reflection of your reality. It's only a piece of you, a tiny little piece of you. So let up a little bit. Stop being so serious. Relax a little bit. Yesterday I came in and I was like, today I gotta go to a dinner with people who see the world so seriously. They see things through a very different lens. And it's difficult for those of us who are light workers to put ourselves into that place. I just want us all to gather someplace. Like all of you who are gathering with me every day, can we just find a place? Can we just get a bunch of campers and circle around a fire and like sit down together and enjoy talking deeply of things that most of the world is not even on the radar. Like, is it difficult for you to live in a world where it's so heavy, where people are so wrapped up in, oh gosh, it makes me want to cry. Like, I look around me and I walk downtown Gatlinburg and I'm like, these people, they're so wrapped up in their humanity. They're so wrapped up in this reflection of what's real. Like they can't see past it. They can't see that if they were to dip their hands in the water, the reflection would just change. Like they have so much power to move that, to change their reality just by dipping their hands in the water. That's really beautiful. Thank you, Steve. If life isn't the way that you want it, if it's not just the way, if you feel like it's really, falling apart, he's like, it's not falling apart. Dip your hands in the water, change it, switch it up. It's your creation. You can change it at any point. It's a reflection. If it's a reflection, it can be altered by a gentle wind. You can blow on it. You can literally just and see it change. It's that easy. But you have to come to the place where you realize your own abilities, your own strengths, the fact that you have that much power to change your life, and together, all of us have that much power to change the reality of the planet. I get deeply into, when people pull me into those conversations of politics and race issues, and I can get deeply into that lower vibrational, the old way of looking at things. Man, how are we ever going to fix this? It's so heavy, it's so deep, it's so big. This is so big. How are we ever going to fix this? We have buried ourselves so deeply into racism, into separation. Truly, like, when you spend time there, you're like, how? I've talked to very spiritual people they're trying to find a solution, and yet we come to this place of, man, this is big. How are little old us, how are we going to change this? What Steve is bringing to me this morning, and this is pure Steve, is that it's all a reflection, baby. It's all a reflection. Would you stop taking it so seriously? Lighten up, lighten up. You've got to enjoy life. You've got to dance. You've got to remember that you're wrapped in the arms of an angel at all times, and that you are. So many of us have come here as earth angels, and we have the power. We've come here to change this because we know, even though all of that humanity can't remember the truth of who they are, some of us do. And those of us who do are taking on this beautiful new energy of change. We keep looking to politicians to change. Those people are not going to make this change. They're not going to change. They are not going to make the change. They're awakening us. They're shining a light on what we've got wrong with us, the things that we need to change, and yet they're not creating the change. We are, because we're powerful. We're powerful beings. We're all creators, and we're here to create. So get to work. He's like, get to work. What are you doing? What are you spending your time on? What are you creating today? What are you creating? Think about it. Don't spend all your time sitting there watching the news. Don't spend all your time listening to people who can't see the truth, who can only look. Don't spend all your time worrying about those people. Don't even try to change their minds. That's a waste of your energy. You can sit there all day with people that are so stuck in their humanity that they refuse to see their own greatness. You can spend all of your time sitting there trying to change who they are, trying to change the way that they think. And their lens is different. All they can see is what's right in front of their faces. This physical reality, the falsities of who they are. That's all they're seeing. They can't see the truth of who they are. They can't see that they are God. They can't see that we're all one, that we're all so connected. So all they do is spend time trying to find ways to separate, trying to build walls against each other, refusing to believe that that person that looks different than them is them, that they're actually looking in the mirror. as they look down into the water, their reflection comes back a different color, comes back different, and yet they don't realize that as they're looking at one another, it's the same thing. It's a reflection of themselves. It's powerful today. Sorry, I'm going into a deep place. Let me see what you guys got. Sharon, you did an awesome job this morning. I was checking in on you. I was trying to get ready for this because I was I was late in awakening again. I stayed up too late, but I did check in. I was listening to you do those bowls, and you did a fantastic job. Let me see. I went way back. Good morning, Isabel. Thank you. I love your name. Isabel is such a beautiful name. Julie says I never try to keep up with the Joneses. I do my own thing for sure. What they're trying to give us is not only are we not keeping up with the Joneses, we're just so far above them that they don't even register. They're not even on our radar. It's like, I've always been like that to a certain degree. I know what I like. I'll be driving down the street, I'm like, wow, I like that car. But it's never like, oh man, I wish I could why do they get that car? I wish I could have. What makes them so much better? And that's what happens in society, and that's where they're telling us to rise above. It's like, don't look at what other people have and wish that you had what they had and they don't have it anymore. There's more than enough to go around. They're like, just no, look at that car and go, oh wow, if they can have it, I can have it. Like, if that person can have it, I can have it. If that person is homeless, I could be homeless. If that person, because I am that person. I am you, you are me, we are all. I hate adjectives at the end of that. I am that I am that I am. Walk down the street, and as you see someone, I have to practice this myself because I can fall into judgment. I've noticed that the last 24 hours, it's pulled my energy level down. I fall into judgment for people who are very, very stuck in their humanity. And that's not right either. It's not right. I have to correct my own self. Spirit's giving that to me, that just because they're baby souls and they can't seem to figure out who they really are, it's not my job to judge them. They're going to be where they are. They're going to grow at the rate of speed that they choose to grow at. I can't force them down my path. I can't force them to wake up. Last night I was driving down the street, so busy, people walking everywhere. It was so frustrating. This area is very frustrating for locals to try to get around at this time of the year because it's so busy. It can take an hour to get 10 miles, easy. So I get frustrated and I start judging. I'm like, I just want to pick people up as they're walking down the street in their rebel flag sweatshirts, and there are so many different ways that I want to judge them, that I want to just pick them up and shake them and say, can't you see that we're all connected? Can't you see your own greatness? Let me just shake this out of you. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I just want them all to wake up to their own truth. That's not my job. My job is just to be at peace, to know where I am, to take care of my own self, my own path, to be compassionate, to shine a light, to be aware of my own reflection on the planet. How's that? Sharon, my lenses change daily too. My lenses change by the minute, depending on the situation, depending on who I'm talking to. I can be in this high space where my higher self is very much in control, and then I can drive downtown and suddenly I've got a little road rage going on and I'm right back in ego. My lens changes all the time. Charles, hi there. He's saying hi to everyone. Carol Allen, I left someone years ago. It was hurting him and me. Now he is so happy. I'm glad. I would have missed out on the love of my life had I not walked away. You're right. You're right. I do miss him. I spent 2 years with this person, and at times it was not right. I felt it was not right, and sometimes we just had beautiful experiences together, and so sometimes I look back at that and I think, kind of miss that. It was kind of a sweet time. I'm glad that we had that time together. I hope that that time that he had has taught him how to truly love, has taught him how to open to love. I hope that he and I have both learned. I know that I've learned from our experience together, and so I still miss that sometimes. I miss those walks on the beach, and I miss the sweetness, and yet I know it wasn't right for me and my kids, and I know that I needed to move into something that was right for me and my kids. My kids, really, you can't ever step away from your children. And so this is right for me now. And yet I still miss that sweetness. And it's okay. I think it's just part of life, isn't it? We move from one chapter to the next, and sometimes we want to go back and open up that old chapter again and take a look and read it over and remember, kind of reminisce. It's good for me that I'm remembering sweetness and goodness and not those parts that hurt. Steve keeps giving that to me too, because for him it's also important for me to remember that he and I sometimes struggled, that he and I weren't always on the same wavelength, and it was okay. Because in my current relationship, sometimes we're not always on the same wavelength, and I can't expect perfection, and I can't expect people to try to keep up with me, to try to always be where I am. I'm just going to continue on my path, and those that are in my path do not deserve judgment. They deserve love, and they deserve acceptance exactly where they are. So, getting a lot of preaching to today, and I'm just giving it right back to you guys. Seriously, it's coming, filtering through me. Geraldine, are you here? I see someone saying hi to you. Good morning if you are. Julie Kiss, me too, Carol. Second man in my life, so very blessed. Had to end the first relationship to get to this place of pure joy. Yeah. We have these relationships, we grow from them. When we're ready to move on, we move on. It's all really pure education. It's like this game of life we go through, and we're like, okay, I gotta learn something important. This is exactly the person that'll teach it to me. I planned his existence in my life so that I could learn. And when it was time for him, when I learned what I need to when I learned what I needed to learn, and hopefully he learned what he needed to learn, it was time for us to go two different directions. Doesn't mean it's always easy. It doesn't mean we don't miss them. It just means that we know when those cycles are complete and we are able to move forward. There's Tierland. Sharon, you were amazing. Let's see. So right, they will not change. Move forward without them. Yeah. Doesn't mean it's always easy. Julie, thank you for the show. You're so welcome, Julie. Good stuff. Christina, I just saw you're here. I'm glad that you guys are getting what you need from this today. True, we cannot do the work for them. We can love them for who they are and leave them if they don't support and uplift us back. That's difficult, isn't it, Christina? I think that's part of my lowness today. I'm not really sad. I'm just reflective, like I said, because, there was a time that Steve and I were very deeply, that's part of it. I look at our memories, June 28th, and all these different years. At one point, we were moving into a house. At one point, we were, just 4 years ago, I was working. Life was so normal just 4 years ago. Like I was working all the time. He was working all the time. We were shuffling kids around. And I've posted 4 years ago how in love I was with my husband, how people come together that are supposed to be together just 4 years ago. And then it was like the middle, maybe July 12th, I think, or 13th, that he was diagnosed with cancer, so we're coming right up. So I go into this, that's part of my reflectiveness every year. It's funny how we don't know that part of us falls back into those past places. Like time is so fluid, and so it's all really happening at the same time. I think maybe, yes, thank you. That's where it's coming from. It's like my time is overlapping. The time in California, the 2 years with Peter, it's like it's overlapping itself into the time that I'm in right now, into the Steve time, into the time with my first husband that was really rough, into bringing children into the world and being a child at the lake and all these things. We're in a time right now where fluid time is becoming so fluid, and it's like money. We're realizing that it's not real. Hold on, wait a minute. Money's not real. Time's not real. This desk isn't really, it's a thing. It feels solid, and yet it's just energy. Everything is just energy. It's vibrating at a slower rate of speed, which makes it more solid than the air that I'm breathing, and yet it's energy. All of it's just energy. And as we awaken to the truth of who we are, we start to realize that I'm just energy and you're just energy. Surely, we're just vibrating at our own rates all the time. Some of us vibrate a little more slowly. Some of us vibrate more quickly at times, and then other times we slow down. Sometimes we're better at controlling, or controlling is not a good word. Consciously molding, creating, allowing energy to flow. It's all energy. It's all, can you really put yourself, it's so deep. It's all energy, we're all energy. And when we remove ourselves from our separateness, when we remove ourselves from, I'm just this desk, this computer, this room, this house, those trees, that person that's walking down the street, that dog, it's all just energy, and so am I. Why do I think that I have to try to find a way to create separations, to put things in different boxes? And if you go a little deeper, why do I think that I've got to worry so much about money, or the lack of, or the car that I'm driving, or the house that I'm living in? Why do I think that I need to spend so much time? Why does my ego think that it has to spend so much time always thinking about, worrying about, stressing about things? It's all just energy. What happens when we come to a place where we can fully embrace the idea that we are pure energy, that we're all one energy, that we can manipulate that energy, that we can change our reality, that abundance is energy, all of it. Scarcity is just energy. It's all just energy. What happens when we realize our own greatness, when we look beyond the reflection and we see that everything can be manipulated by us. It's going deep today. All of it. That we have the power to create, because we are the masters. We are. You are the master of your own experience. You get to choose who you want to have in that experience. You get to choose who you'd like to remove from that experience. You get to choose how you want to live, what kind of place you want to live in. Because we're coming to a place where as above, so below. That's how it is. You know, like, this is just a reflection of the truth of who we are. Where we come from is the real thing. And this is a reflection of it. And there we get to choose. We think it and we have it. And so we're coming to a place of remembering the truth of who we are. And as we remember, and as we're receiving these downloads and these upgrades of our DNA, we're suddenly like, wait, I can do that. I keep talking about morphing. I keep talking about becoming like a X-Man. Like, suddenly we realize the truth of who we are. What if we realize that we have these superpowers, that we can actually take all of reality and mold it into exactly what we want? So what if we all work together on that? Instead of making this an hour-long, what if we all work on spending some time with ourselves today to realize that we get to choose. I asked Source Energy, I asked God, I asked my angels this morning 2 really important questions. And I asked for answers today. And those answers are coming through this show. They're coming through the show in a way of, you are the master of your universe. You get to make those decisions. What would you like? You can choose to do it this way. You can choose to do it that way. You can choose to have this person in your life. You can choose to let them go. You can choose. You get to choose. You are in control. There is no right way and there is no wrong way. There's only the way that you choose. Because I am manipulating. Sounds like I don't like that word, but I am the creator. I get to consciously create. I get to choose. What would I like? There's no right and there's no wrong. There's no judgment in what you choose. And every choice that you make creates a new path. And there could be a million me's out somewhere in the ethers. I've chosen so many different directions to go. one of me chooses to go live with that person or create that life. One of me has chosen to do it a different way, and I've got so many millions of different ways that I can say, well, okay, I want to do it that way. We're so stuck on trying to stay on our path all the time. I remember about 4 or 5 months ago, I was really like, where is my path? Like, what is my path? Where am I supposed to be? And God very clearly came back to me and said, little girl, don't you think sometimes it would be good for you to step off your path, to stop worrying about the path, to just wander aimlessly through the forest and see what you can find? Think about it. Why are you so worried about creating just a perfect path? Like you sat someplace and you said, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it only this way. I'm going to go to Earth and I'm going to step that direction. I'm going to always stay on the path that I chose for myself. How boring would that be? Instead, you sat up there and you went, okay, well, I would like to create this, and I would like to have this, and I would like to do with this. And then but it was very, very generalized. It was like, these are the ideas, the energies that I would like to create, the energies that I would like to create. I'm going to repeat that. These are the energies that I would like to create in my existence on Earth this time. And however I should get myself to the place where I can create those energies, I'm okay. That's how I want to do it. I want to be a freelancer. I just want to walk freely over the planet and just allow myself to step lightly, gently into the forest of my dreams, into the place that I've always longed to be. And I will find that place. I know that I will, because inside of me is this spirit that is free to roam and free to go. Just wants to explore. I just want to learn. I just came here to learn. And I'm okay to go in different directions. I'm okay to see what I can find as I go through life. I don't need to have it all figured out. I don't need to always be in a certain place at a certain time, because this life is so freaking miraculous. It's so much more miraculous than any of us can even imagine. And so somehow, through all of those movements and decisions that we make with our conscious mind, somehow we always end up where we're supposed to be. Somehow we always meet that person. Somehow we always get to that place. I knew that I would get here. I knew that I would be in this place somehow, some way. And I'm grateful to every single person who has come into my life, whether it felt painful, whether that person caused difficulty, whether they felt neglectful or hurtful or the most loving person on the planet. I am grateful to every single one of them for bringing me to this place at this time, for allowing me to learn from them, for giving me the opportunities for growth. That's powerful. Spend some time with that. I think that's important for us to remember, to be grateful to all of them, to all of them. I don't need to remember all of the pain that they caused. I only need to remember the lessons that I learned along the way. I'm in a very reflective place today. Can you tell? It's reflective and it's good. I think sometimes we need to step into our own reflections long enough to really pay attention to what we're putting forth into the world. Are we putting forth the energy of the dreams, of the plans that we created? Just the energy. There's not a perfect, concrete way to get there. The paths are always changing. The reflections are always changing. We can't ever just know exactly the direction that we were supposed to take, that we think, concrete plans. You can't sit down. You're only writing an outline for your life. I'm teaching a class right now to a few, and it's coming out on Enlightened World Network. It's called Voice of the Spirit. And every time I try to sit down and create this plan of action, I try to say, okay, tomorrow this is what we need to learn about, and this is how we're going to get there. My guides come in and say, what are you doing? You're only the vessel. We're going to bring in the energy that is needed for the people that arrive at the class for the day that they are there. However they arrive there, whatever they've learned, whatever they've been working on in the last 24, 48 hours, whatever kinds of lessons their soul brought to them, we're going to work with that. We cannot work with. You do not know where their hearts are, what they've been learning. There's no way that you can possibly know that. It's not your job to consciously create this class. It's simply your job to step back and to arrive, to open up a Zoom link and say, okay, here we are. We're here today. Now let's see where this class wants to go. Let's see where Source, let's see where our angels want to take us today. Where are you today? What have you been learning about? Where would you like to go? That's how this show was created. I don't have any idea what we're going to talk about when I sit down. I don't have any idea where the meditation is going to go. I have no idea because I wait for you to show up. And we have a gathering. And wherever you are, Source, God, your angels, my angels, they all have a little powwow. And they say, okay, this is where we need to go today. And then we go. That's the power behind this show. And that's the power behind every class that I'll ever teach. I accept that. I was told this morning by a very wise woman. She accepted her cap and gown, her instructor robe. And she asked me, basically through this conversation, she told me that her guide said that I wasn't quite there yet, that I hadn't fully accepted the robe of the instructor. And when I did, they would know. And I just did. Because it's not the egoic part. The egoic part wants to talk me out of it, wants to talk and say, well, maybe you're not capable of that, maybe you can't do that. And that's the other part of me that's so much smarter. It's so wise. It says, of course you can do that because you're only opening up. You're only opening to allow. You're teaching. We're teaching. You're the vessel. We're using your vocal cords. We're using your body. We're using you, your face. We're drawing people to you that need to learn. And then you're opening to us and we're teaching. So you guys, thank you, because I just sat here and got my answer. It's powerful what happens when we sit and talk and let it get out of our heads, isn't it? Good morning, Catherine Kovacs. Thank you for joining us. Christina, true, we cannot do the work yet. We were reading that. Let's see. Several more times per day. Boom, boom, ba-doom. Sharon's really busy with those singing bowls. Thank you for sharing your light with us. Kim, such a great topic and resonates with me right now. Perfect. You're the master, Kim. You get to choose how you're going to put out your energy, what you're going to do on the earth, don't you? Christina, Julie, thank you. Christina, I have started saying blessings or speaking light language quietly when I see people in that lower vibe state to help them raise their vibration and give them what they need in this moment to move where they need to go. That's beautiful, Christina. I think oftentimes we think that we just need to go out and change people and just force it down their throats. Religion has always been like that. We're not a religion. Religion thought that it had to control. It thought that it had to force beliefs down people's throats, force fear down their throats in order to get them to follow blindly, to just be, I'm so afraid that I'm going to go to hell. I'm so afraid that my children are going to go to hell. I'm so afraid that I'm going to get struck by lightning, whatever. The truth is, there's really no hell. The truth is, none of us are going to go there. We're all going to the same place. And those people that are confused, that are lost, that are scared, they just don't know the truth. They haven't opened to the truth yet. And so as we go out and shine our light, as we just bring the energy into the building, I don't need to do anything today as I sit around that table with people who are so blind to the truth of who they are. I don't have to say anything. I only have to bring my light. I only have to bring my energy. I only have to sit there quietly, knowing the truth of who they are and allowing their hearts to resonate with mine. And maybe they'll wake up today, and maybe they won't. And it's not my place to judge their path or where they are on it. It's only my place to show up. You guys are awesome today. You're helping me. Christina, yes, you are doing something that's so powerful. The relationship I left with someone, this is Carol, that was separated. He didn't want to leave because of his girls. It helped him to see he was worthy of love, and he was able to repair his marriage. I'm glad that they worked it through so that they're happy again. That's excellent that you're able to rise above that, Carol, and that after you rose above that situation, you found true love that was so important in your life. So that was a beautiful part of your path. Christina, consciously raising our vibration, exactly. Who is EWN? Which one of you? On Mondays at 3:33 Eastern Time, watch Diana on Silent Mystics, Finding Your Voice on EWN Enlightened Living. This world is full of silent mystics, those people who have had incredible experiences but have not yet found a platform to share them. Hosted by Diana and Gerald Ann, Silent Mystics, Finding Your Voice is a safe place to share metaphysical experiences, burgeoning abilities, and miracles that seem to defy everyday reality. That's really cool. I'm glad I wrote that. Except I think I had a little help. It sounds more intelligent than me. Thank you for sharing that. Monday is going to be a really incredible day, too. We have a person that has a beautiful story to share, an incredible, magical, mystical story to share. So I hope you join us on Monday. Scarlett, you're right. I listened to Sharon's Bowls for just a few minutes until I had to hop in the shower, and I was like so glad that I did. I was laying there kind of in that lower vibrational waking up from crazy dreams place that I sometimes wake up from, and her bowl started like my vibration, she filled my battery right up. When you plug in your phone and it goes boom, 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 boom. So Sharon, thank you so much for sharing those bowls. Charles Coons, those who lose their way are lost until they start looking for answers. Until they start looking for answers, they will stay lost. Exactly. And none of us can control when they're going to start looking either, can we? They're going to have that wake-up call. I went through many, many years of being very lost in my own humanity. It took me until my early 40s to start. I got that wake-up call. I must have walked close enough to someone that suddenly they flipped the switch for me. It was like, ding, I'm awake. And I still had a lot of growing to do, and I still do. I'm still a long ways away from complete, but I allow myself more and more every day. I just open to it, and that's the thing, is we're creating the light that will cause that wake-up call for people. So we don't know when it's going to happen. We just keep hoping. We just keep being. Just keep being. Just be. Just be you. Just keep shining your light. It's so simple that we want to make it difficult. Like, well, how do I shine that light? What's my path? How do I do this? How am I supposed to do all the work that I came here to do? Stop doing that. You only do what you do. You be you. That's all they want you to be, is just to be you. Be the you that you came here to be. Be you. Yep, we're already the X-Men, aren't we? Or the Batman. We're already the superheroes. You're exactly right. Christina, excellent. We're becoming mutants, except we've always been mutants. We're just remembering. We're remembering our own greatness now, and we're allowing it to shine. We're allowing it to just fill in the blanks. And man, I'll tell you what, these one-on-one sessions that I've been having with people are just the most incredible, magical. I never thought in my humanity that anything like that could happen with me, through me, in any way. And that now I see that when we truly wake up and we allow things work through us, Spirit works through us in the most miraculous ways. It's so incredible to be a part of this. I'm just so grateful today that I'm here in physical form, able to do the things that I've been given to do by just allowing and relaxing into it. It's literally just step into the pool. Would you just step into the pool? Don't keep being afraid. Don't stand on the edge. Step in. Allow yourself to be truly, completely who you came here to be. And when you do, magic happens. That's what Silent Mystics is all about, is allowing you to step into the pool. Just step in, shine your light. Shine your light in whatever way, whatever you've been doing, whatever is beautiful. This class, Finding Your Voice, it's about finding you. It's about finding, when I wrote the book, Anchor Light, it was about finding you. It's called Anchor Light and Awakening to Your Greatest Treasure. What is that greatest treasure? It's you. You're waking up to you. And everything, that is my purpose here, on this planet is helping people to wake up to the truth of who they are. It's the most important thing. Through the voice of Steve, the most important thing that you can do now is to remember who you really are, to remember the truth of who you are, to remember your own greatness, to wake up to realize that you have a crown on your head, that you are a miraculous, incredible, magical, mystical being just stuck in this physical self, and yet within you is this never ending, can expand in any which direction it wants to go. You're this incredible creator. Yes, you're right, Charles. You can go off the path and get to the same end result just like GPS. We're incredible beings. We're more incredible than Google Maps. I want to make a t-shirt. Thank you for that. We are more incredible than Google Maps. We all have an inner compass that leads us exactly where we want to go. That's what Anchor Light is all about. Can I show you the cover of this? I am so obsessed with compasses that I even have a tattoo. I'm so obsessed. I'm sorry that it's backwards, but I'm so obsessed with these. That was the most. My son still has this compass. Caleb took that gorgeous picture. That's what it's all about. You have your own inner compass. You have your true north is always inside of you, leading you exactly where you need to be. All you have to do is slow down, turn off your ego, and pay attention. Turn it off sometimes. You don't always have to. Ego's there for a reason. You came here to be in physical form. It's okay to allow your ego to have a little fun, but also make sure that you're listening. Pull that ego into alignment with your higher self. Remember the truth of who you are. Wake up. Wake up. Simple ways we wake each other up. Anchor Light is the simplest book ever written, and yet when you read it, it wakes people up. I've had it happen over and over again. People read the book and they're like, oh, wait, my switch just got turned on. What can you do to help people's switches turn on today? That's what it's all about. Shine your light. I'm going to go out into the world today. I'm going to put on my big girl panties. I'm going to go sit at Red Lobster with a bunch of people that have no idea the truth of who they are, and they're all going to sit around and talk about politics and racism in a very negative way, and I'm aware of that, and I'm preparing myself. I'm going to wrap myself in this beautiful bubble of protection so that it doesn't affect me, and I'm going to sit in that beautiful bubble of protection. I'm going to smile like this, and I'm just going to send love bombs everywhere. I'm just going to love them, wrap them up in the love of God, because they are every bit as much a piece of the Creator as I am. They're just wrapped up in layers of lies. They can't help it. Those lies are so thick around them that they can't see through them. But they're part of me, and so I choose to love them. I got a lot of answers today. Thank you guys for being here. Sharon ran out of charge. I'm glad you found your way back. Go get your shower. Get ready for your 11:45. Geraldine, it was nice that you stopped in. Belinda Dawn, thank you for popping in too. Isabel, you really helped me awakening and grow from it. Very good, Isabel. Eric Elliott, thank you for popping in. Sorry I didn't. You can't hear me, Isabel. Am I being too quiet, or did everybody else tell me if you can hear me and see if it's just Isabel? I can get really off and quiet sometimes, so. Oh, my connection or phone. I'm sorry. Listen, learn, teach. Exactly. As we are growing, as we are awakening, as we are remembering, because I'm not teaching from my head. I'm teaching from my heart. My job is only to help you to wake up to the truth of who you are, to remember the truth of who you are. So as I'm teaching, I'm just turning it over to Spirit to help you in whatever way you choose, whatever way works best for your soul, to remember the truth of who you are. We're not teaching like high school, where we're shoving things down your throat and forcing you to memorize lessons and to remember history and to, what is this calculation and can you remember that, whatever. I'm not trying to push things into your conscious mind. When I teach, I'm trying to awaken your soul. And I accept that. And every time I say that, my heart lights up. Thank you for my answers. Scarlet, oh gosh, I'm buying it today. You can find it on Amazon. I'm glad that you're going to go find it. Share it out. Give it to people. I think it's time. When we did this book, Paul and I, when we did this book, we knew there was going to be a time when it came out and it was like going to really come to life. And right now, I think it's time for it to have its own life. I'm letting it go. I'm not going to judge it anymore. Even me, I judge this little book. I go through, I'm like, oh, there's a typo. There's this. Guess what? None of that matters because the energy of the book is so incredible that if you just read it, and if you just sit in it, allow it to speak to you, it will. And as it's speaking to you, it's waking up parts of you that are like you, that were long forgotten. I love it so much to have been a part of it, to be a part of it. Thank you, Carol Ann. She says, you will love the book. Still waiting for my book. Says it should be here today. Woohoo! Read it, Charles. I can't wait to hear how it affects you. How the energy of the book affects you. Which book? Kim Colts. It is Anchor Light, and it's backwards. I apologize. An Awakening of Your Greatest Treasure. I wrote it. Paul Roy Rostek worked with me. It's from his teachings. And Caleb Allison, my nephew, did most of some of the photographs are mine. A lot, I helped him with it, but he helped with all the effects on the book, and he did some beautiful work. It does have. We're gonna make a deck from it. I have more pictures to go with it, but there is the most incredible artwork in here. That's actually Paul Y. Rostek's arm. We actually went to those beaches. That's part of the energy of it. He actually has this. He's built more around it, but that's his tattoo on his arm. And that is the pretty little compass, reminding us to look for our own true north, whatever it is. It's not my true north. It's not your true north. So you need to go in there and look for your own. We're running out of time. Well, let's see. I will send you some energy. Oh, thank you. Sharon, you're going to send me some energy, protective energy when I'm in that Red Lobster. Thank you. I need that. I'm going to go to it, and then I'm going to grab Jim, and we're just going to head out. If it doesn't just storm all day, we're going to go find some quiet time in the mountains, someplace where I can just recharge, because it's been a very long week. I feel like I need to spend some time being me today. About noon. I got one more session, and then I'm going to take some time. I can never get away without a little bit of work. You're so welcome, Kim. Scarlet, sounds fine. Excellent. I'm glad that you can hear me all right. Let's have a quick 10-minute. I don't want to take up too much time. Today is Day of Transformation on EW and Enlightened World Network. And so there's things going all day long. I don't want you to miss out on all that beautiful stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick 10-minute clearing meditation. Let's be in a beautiful, peaceful space. Seeking is activity, finding is activity of spirit. Exactly, Charles. You're so wise. You have truly opened up to the wisdom of your higher self through. I'm gonna say that more than likely losing your wife has put you on the fast track. It was very much the same for me. When I lost Steve, that depth of grief really pushed me onto the fast track. So I enjoy your comments and how far you're going and how quickly you're expanding. Julie, thank you. Enjoy your day. I will enjoy my day. Thank you. We'll find some things. Even if it rains, we'll go sit and I can carry an umbrella. I've got a rain slicker. Marika, thank you for popping in. We're just getting ready to do a very fast, easy, comforting meditation if you'd like to join me. When you didn't miss the meditation, you're just on time. Perfect timing. Old Batman back there is going to help us. So let's get ourselves in a peaceful place. Energy is starting to build in this space with me. So if you guys want to, let's join together today. Let's all be in one space. We are all. I'm a snail, but progressing. Carol, you are progressing very quickly. Don't cut yourself back there. Give yourself all of the. What's the word? There's a good word. Credit. That's the word. Give yourself credit for all the hard work you're doing. You've been through a lot. So, how about we get comfortable? Relax your shoulders. The energy is so beautiful. Thank you. We're calling in Archangel Michael for protection for all of us today, to stay with us. I ask that he would wrap this beautiful bubble of protection around each one of us as we go into meditation, through our meditation, and as we go out into our days today. That you would feel completely protected and whole, that this bubble would have no pinpricks, that any energy, any negative dark energy that comes in your direction would bounce off and head back in another direction, that only what you choose comes into that bubble, and only love is able to. Those that come from love, any energy, can come in or out as you allow. I'd like you to put your feet on the ground if you can. I'd like you to start to relax your body, to feel the energy begin to flow, to come into the room. And I'd like you to fill up your heart space right now. Blow it up like a big bubble. And as you do, you'll feel it when it's ready. Let it pop right on out. Let your Holy Spirit, higher self, join me in this healing space. I feel each one of you joining me in this big circle. We're in this crystal cathedral. It's absolutely beautiful. There's light shining down in every direction. It's as if we're not even on the earth anymore. This crystal cathedral is on another planet. And as we look out of the walls, we see multiple moons. I see at least 3 moons. And I can see a planet like Saturn, not too far from us. Rings around it. And this is a beautiful place. The earth appears to be red. I see a waterfall. The lighting is different from what I'm used to on this planet. It's like an orange light, and I feel lighter than I've ever felt before. I feel as if my body can just float. Allow yourself to float there. Allow yourself to just be at peace for just a few minutes. Completely at peace. It's a silent place. There's no noise here. Even the water falling, it makes no noise. We are speaking to one another telepathically. You don't have to use your voice. You don't have to open your mouth. We can hear one another. And we're standing in a beautiful circle. All of you golden light beings, enjoying the peaceful planet that we're on. And as you enjoy that space, and as your Holy Spirit higher self receives an upgrade of energy, as you bathe in that lighter energy of this distant planet that feels like home, you feel the homeliness, the sense of I've returned. Be in that space. Allow yourself to feel that peace for just a few minutes. And as you do, we're asking our angels, we're asking source energy, pure source energy, to come down on the top of your head. If you can feel that heat settling down right above your head, it's as if a beautiful hand is holding itself right over the top of your head right now. And down through the center of your crown, you hold a beautiful crown on your head. You can feel the weight of it. And through the center, there is energy coming through that hand, like golden, glittery energy, coming down on your crown, clearing away any blocks, opening you to source energy completely, allowing you to plug in, to feel a perfect channel of energy. Showing you the truth of who you are, that you are always plugged in, that all you have to do is reach. They're always there for you. Source, God, the universe is always there sharing energy with you as you will receive. It is your choice to receive this energy. So however much you choose to receive today, allow it to flow through your crown. And it pushes right on down through your third eye. Wow, it's beautiful. And very quickly, as if anyone that joined me yesterday, There was a joining together of our chakras. It was as if they were being stitched together and creating a better pathway, a better opening. And we definitely need some clearing of the throat right now. Allow that clearing to push right on down through. Clearing away any blocks, cords, attachments, anything that is keeping us from our truth, anything that shadows, that overshadows the truth of who we are. We ask to have that cleared away today. Allow us to see our own truth today. Allow us to see who we really are. Up there on that planet, that is really you. You are that. You can go to any planet you choose. You don't have to stay on this earth. You get to go exploring. Allow your higher self to step out sometimes. Don't keep it trapped inside of you. Allow it to come free through meditation, through visualizations. Allow it to go explore other planets. Allow it to go to different countries, to visit different people, to visit those who have been lost, those that have passed on before you. Allow your own Holy Spirit higher self to go wherever it chooses. You do not need to control, and you can enjoy the experience of traveling through time, through space, anytime you'd like, using your imagination, envisioning, setting an intention for where it is that you choose to go. And that energy is going right on down through your physical self. It's in your heart space. It's cleared your throat already. And it's moving on down very quickly. It's a very powerful energy down into your solar plexus. Clearing away any cords, attachments, anything that you're ready to release right now. Just let it go. Surrender to this energy. It is safe and healing. Down into the belly, down into your root, flowing easily today. You've all done such beautiful work. Your chakras are so clear that it's flowing easily like a river down through you, down your legs, down over your knees, your lower legs, your feet, down through those beautiful roots that your body is holding. You may not see them, but they're there. There's this beautiful root system. We've been upgraded. It goes down through your feet, goes all the way through your body. To every cell, you have these beautiful roots. So this energy just comes right back up through those roots from the earth, and it's reaching to every part of your body right now. Allow that energy of healing, the energy of clearing, to clear out any disease, any dis-ease, any lower vibrational energy is being carried away from you, transmuted into the light, brought back as perfect energy, clear and pure, and nothing but love. And as it comes back up through your chakra centers, as it goes all the way through your body, you can feel it in your hands and your feet. Allow that energy, hold your hands up and allow that energy to go across the planet to those that have special needs today. I'm thinking right now of Ruth Bradford, but anyone that you know of that needs that healing touch today, that beautiful energy, that lift of perfection, please allow that energy to come through your hands, through your crown, wherever it needs to go, all the way across the planet. Green, beautiful, healing energy spreading all the way around the planet, to the planet within the planet, to the many layers, to the many different reflective pieces and parts that we don't even realize exist, and yet they do. Let's push that energy through all of these different layers, allowing for a deeper healing than this planet has ever received before. Breathe into your heart space. Allow that energy to flow perfectly through you. There's this beautiful lifting. Thank you for joining me in this today. I'd like you to call your Holy Spirit higher self. We've been gathered there together in a beautiful time of sharing. The energy has flowed from one to the other, to the other, to the other. Reach out. Just make sure that you're attached to the Holy Spirit higher self of the next person. And let's allow this perfect energy flow to feel our connectedness, to know that we are all one today, all of us. Feel that energy flow. And then pull them gently back into your heart space to keep them safe and sound within you. And they are so welcome there. They're thanking you for clearing all that negative energy out. They're thanking you for that freedom of visiting another planet for the time. And they're asking that you do that more often. Please allow us to fly freely. And the ego and the Holy Spirit higher self are coming into perfect alignment. This perfect parallel within you, comforting your ego, being reminded of the truth, allowing for a relaxation, allowing for that ego to step aside. Let go of the worries, let go of scarcity, let go of any lower vibrational energy, let go of fear. Live in love today. You are safely protected. And now count to 5 and completely pull yourself back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your feet, feeling your power, knowing that you just received this energy of pure source. And that you get to go and share that out today with those that you love, with those that are around you. Let it shine. An awakening energy. Thank you for that. I'm thanking Source Energy. I'm thanking our angels, our guides, all of you, all of your Holy Spirit higher selves for joining in this exercise today. Beautiful, beautiful time of sharing. I so greatly appreciate you. I'm glad you made it back, Isabel. Big breath. Come back out of it. Know that you're completely whole. That you can go to that place anytime you like. If you like to go to that planet, if you like to go to the forest, if you like to go to the ocean, wherever it is that you like to go to that place. Allow yourself, allow your spirit to shine, to go into places, to have these little vacations when needed. When you're in a place, here it is. When you're in a place where you're surrounded by people that are very, very stuck in their humanity, and it's very frustrating to be there, take yourself quietly. Take yourself quietly to that other planet, to the place of silence. And stay there for a few minutes and realize that you are so much greater, that you have so much more presence, that you are so much more awake than those people. Greater is not that we are so much greater than we realize. They are so much greater than they realize. They're just sleeping. They're just dreaming a reality that's not true. Don't wake them up too quickly. Let them ease out of that existence. At their own rate of speed. We can't shake them out of it like we would like to. They're going to come out when they're ready. They're just afraid. It's okay. We did clear some key points. This is how we roll. You are so right, Marika. Charles, thank you so much. Have a great day. I got to get off of here. I've run late again. I have a session in 20 minutes. I'm so glad that you felt that, Scarlett. Getting emotional. Isabel, that's a big growth. Allow that emotion. Just feel it. Go drink a lot of water, ground your energy, stand barefoot on the earth for a few minutes. Allow yourself. There's beautiful. When source energy fills us, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. Reminding you of the truth of who you are, that you are source. Take good care of yourselves today. I love you. I will see you here again tomorrow at 9:30. Bye now.